The number
Listen,
is
Mr. Drew, get a pencil. Get a pencil.
Okay, then. All right. Write this down for me.
Actually, you know what,
okay.
Mr. Drew, I'll give you a call after court. How's that? I have your number.
Okay, then. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You may disconnect, Mr. Drew, if you have no other questions, sir.
No, thanks a lot. Appreciate
All right. You're welcome.
you. Okay.
Madam Clerk, Mr. Wozak, do we have another person ready?
Yes, Judge, with your permission, we could call Tiffany Reagans. She's going to accept an offer.
All right. Can we allow Ms. Reagans into the virtual courtroom?
I'm trying, Your Honor. I did admit her. It just says she's joining, so I'm not sure.
Let me see. Oh, is she?
She was in the waiting room.
Right. I see her in the waiting room. Oh, now it says she's joining. Yes.
There we go.
I'm back.
Morning, Ms. Reagans. Ma'am,
Good morning.
Can you connect with your video camera?
Yeah. Let me see.
Thank you. The court is calling SP 121-72781 Tiffany Monique Reagans. The charge is improper license. Count 2 of that same ticket, no insurance. And SP 121-72771 disregarding a red signal. If Tiffany Monique Reagans is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Tiffany Monique Reagans.
Reagans, thank you, Ms. Reagans. Who's representing Ms. Reagans?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Daniel Wozak. We would waive in-court presence and agree to appear via Zoom.
Thank you, Mr. Wozak. How do you wish to proceed with Ms. Reagans?
Your Honor, there is a recommendation to amend ticket ending in 7277 to limited access 5 over. The other 2 matters would be dismissed. She would like to accept that.
All right, Ms. Reagans. That's the civil infraction. And the other 2 matters are being dismissed. All right, Ms. Reagans, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
And Ms.
Your
Reagans, you understand, ma'am, that you would have the right to a trial, and you're waiving that right today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And your lawyers indicated that you have agreed to participate on the Zoom proceeding today. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Ms. Reagans, because you are pleading to a civil infraction rather than the misdemeanor offense, the court does not need to swear you in today. We merely need your plea of responsible to the factual basis in the ticket ending in 72771. On the date, the time, and the location indicated in that ticket, were you driving a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
And Ms. Reagans, I need the plea to the factual basis, which indicates that you were disregarding a red signal. Did you disregard a red signal, Ms. Reagans?
It was yellow going on. It was yellow and it turned red as soon as my tail hit. I was on Jefferson. So I didn't just go through a red light like that, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Reagans, I'm going to tell you something that people don't pay attention to, but you're not supposed to go through a yellow light either.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. You're right.
Only the green light. So because when you see a yellow light, it means the light is going to imminently turn red. And so you're supposed to stop if you can. That charge is being amended. The court is going to accept the responsible plea, the factual basis and the responsible plea. And the charge is amended pursuant to the prosecutor's recommendation to limited access 5 miles over the speed limit. The other remaining matters previously read into the record are being dismissed. So, oh, no, that's right. The other 2 matters are being dismissed. The fine, Ms. Regan's, is $125. Are you able to pay that within 14 days?
Yes, I can pay it tomorrow.
Okay. All right, ma'am, we'll give you 14 days to pay just in case something happens and you're not able to pay it as soon as you believe you are. But if you can pay it tomorrow, that's fine. So the other matters, as we say, are dismissed. Are there any questions, Ms. Regans?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you, ma'am. You know you can pay online at
Yes.
36districtcourt.org.
Yep, they gave me the number and everything when I called the clerks. So they gave me the information, the ticket number where I can call and pay it online.
Great. Thank you. If there are no other questions, Ms. Regans, you may disconnect from the hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am. You too.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, is there anyone else ready?
Who would you like, Attorney Wazik? Oh, Attorney Wazik, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Mr. Rich would like to request a bench trial. Jimmy Rich.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Rich.
Good morning.
The court is calling case number SP 123-95081, Jimmy Terrell Rich Jr. The charge is driver's license suspended. Count 2 of that same ticket, no insurance. Also SP 124-15361, same defendant, driver's license suspended. And count 2 of that same ticket, driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. And Z 808-5561, same defendant, operating while intoxicated. This matter is set for arraignment pretrial. The operating while intoxicated. The other matters were all scheduled for pretrial today. If Mr. Jimmy Terrell Rich Jr. is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Jimmy Terrell Rich.
Thank you, Mr. Rich. Who's representing Mr. Rich?
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Wozniak on his behalf will waive in court and agree to Zoom for this hearing.
Thank you. And how do you wish to proceed with Mr. Rich?
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment on the operating while intoxicated, will waive the formal reading and stand mute.
So ordered. Mr. Rich, the court is going to enter a not guilty plea for you on the operating while intoxicated matter. That's the ticket ending in 85561. We will give you a pretrial or trial date, Mr. Wozniak.
Your Honor, at this time, he is requesting a bench trial.
All right.
And I discussed with jury and he's willing to waive that.
All right, Mr. Rich, you understand, sir, that you would have the right to a trial by judge or jury. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's my understanding you wish to waive or give up the right to a jury trial and have this matter scheduled by, for a bench trial to be decided by a judge. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, sir, we will give you a bench trial date. And is that the April 6th date, Mr. Wozniak, Madam Clerk? No,
I
that's
have
for
to
the
defer
other
to the
person.
clerk.
Let me
Your
see,
Honor, it would be the June 15th.
all right, so Mr. Terrell, Mr. Rich, we're gonna schedule your matter for bench trial, sir, on June 15 at 8:30 in the morning. And it will be a Zoom connection. So the same way you connected today, you will connect on June 15 at 8:30 in the morning. And as to the remaining matter, well, on that matter, Mr. Rich, the court's going to give you a personal bond, sir, but as a condition of that personal bond, no drinking and driving, absolutely no drinking and driving is a condition of that personal bond because of the nature of this charge. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Rich. Now, Mr. Wazak, are the other matters going to be tag-alongs with this OWI?
Yes, Judge, but those can each be set for pretrial. We don't need to bring those officers in.
All right, we will schedule those for final pretrial, the remaining matters that were previously read into the record. Let's see, were they scheduled? They were scheduled for pretrial today, so we're going to schedule them for a final pretrial. And only the OWI, the operating while intoxicated, is scheduled for trial on June 15th, but they will all be heard on the same day, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, all right. And no drinking and driving, Mr. Rich. Any questions, sir?
No, I will have to talk to the attorney, right? If I have any questions.
You can ask me.
So I was trying to figure out, I thought those tickets were going to get taken out because the job I have is a traveling job. Like I travel around the country doing restoration with electronics.
So when are you scheduled to go out of town? Next.
I go out. I be home only a week out of every month.
So you're telling me you need your driver's license?
Yeah, that's what I was really, and that's what I was really confused on when they were saying drinking and like, 'cause I haven't did that in 10 years or whatever.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Judge. All of that is correct. My client has indicated to me that it did not involve alcohol. It may have involved suspected prescription medication for which he had the prescription. So we want to get the blood records from Detroit Receiving and the prescription bottles and bring them in and show them to the officer.
Okay, and that's correct. That's correct, Mr. Rich. It may not have been alcohol. OWI is operating while intoxicated. It could be, you know, some prescription with codeine in it or something.
Okay.
But it would still be covered under this. So do you have your driver's license for travel?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I don't know how you're gonna drive out of town then, Mr. Rich.
That's what I was
Mr.
trying to get.
He's not gonna be able to drive out of town until this matter's resolved. So you know.
I understand that, Judge, but he's maintaining that there was nothing in his system. So I can't possibly go forward with any plea today.
Right. And I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Riches, except that no drinking, no driving, sir, or any substances that could impair your driving. So there's certain substances like codeine, like things that could be contained in even over-the-counter medications that you specifically cannot drive with because it does impair your ability to drive. So, you know, I don't know. Do you have some condition that requires that you are you trying to stay awake on the road? Is that what's going on?
No, I had got stabbed.
So you have pain medication?
Yeah, I got nerve damage. Yeah.
I can't really advise you on that, but if that medication impairs your ability to drive, and I don't know, has a doctor told you that? Usually those pain medications will tell you
Mhm.
in the brochures and the information that, you know, accompanies that medication, that you should not drive while taking that medication. Even some you know, some Zyrtec, some medications that affect your allergies can cause grogginess, and they'll tell you not to drive with them. And if you are found to be driving, that will be a ticketable offense, if not something for which you could be arrested. Because you just can't have people driving groggy on the road.
Yeah,
It is dangerous. It is dangerous.
very,
So
very.
I don't know how else to explain this to you until we get this resolved. And the date that we have, the earliest date we have for resolution is June 15th. Now, beyond that, the court can't give you any advice. And Mr. Wazak, I don't know if you have any other advice for Mr. Rich at this time.
And no, Judge, the only way he can get his license back is to return on that court date.
Okay, so Mr. Rich, we'll see you on June 15th, and whatever you were using that caused this charge against you, don't use it until we have this matter resolved, even if you have a prescription for the drug, because just having a prescription doesn't mean that you have permission to drive. That
Right.
doesn't mean that you have an exception driving. It just means that, you know, otherwise you might be arrested for having some kind of illegal substance. But it still would prevent you from being able to drive.
Right.
All
So,
right.
so those other driving tickets, those weren't getting. I think I thought I paid those. Those not getting through out today, or how did it go about?
I don't, were they misdemeanor
Yeah.
offenses? They're misdemeanor. They can't be thrown out unless you've gone before a judge. And is this the first time you've gone before a judge on these matters?
No.
But
No,
they're
'cause
still
this-
open in the system, correct?
Yes, Judge,
Yeah.
they're in pretrial status.
So they have not been resolved. So they haven't
No.
been thrown out. But perhaps when you come on the 15th, they will be disposed of as
Okay.
part of whatever happens with the OWI matter.
All right.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Rich, I'm sorry I couldn't be more helpful at this time, but we'll see you back on June 15, and hopefully everything will be resolved on that date.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right, sir, thank you. You may disconnect from the hearing if there are no other questions. And Madam Clerk, do we have anyone else ready at this time?
I am
Judge-
waiting for a prosecutor to log in, Your Honor, because Attorney Wazik needed to speak with someone
Okay,
regarding someone, and so we only have Daughtry and Rains left.
okay. And are either one of those ready, Mr. Wazak?
I didn't catch the first name, Judge. Oh, no, yes, we can do Dougherty. Yes, I'm sorry. That's the one I,
Got it.
yes.
This is also alcohol related violation?
Yes, Judge, but it's a drinking in public and she'd like to plead.
All right. Ms. Daughtry.
Hi.
Hi, Ms. Daughtry. Are you able to connect with a video camera?
No, my video is on, but I don't know what's wrong with my camera.
Right, I see an X through it.
Yeah, but I did just turn my camera on. I don't know if my camera is broken or.
Okay. All right, Ms. Daughtry, This is ticket number U 617-60521, Naja Monet Daughtery.
Yes, my name is actually Deja with a D, but they spelled it wrong.
Oh, Deja Monet Daughtery. All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
thank you. And the charge is alcohol-related violation. Ms. Daughtery, would you please say your name again for the record?
Deja Daughtery,
Thank you. And who's representing Ms. Daughtery?
I'm
myself.
Daniel Wozak,
Oh.
Judge, and I'm with the defendant. Will agree for Zoom proceeding and waiving court.
Thank you. Ms. Daughtery. Is Ms. Daughtery pleading today, Mr. Wazan?
Yes, Judge, she is, but I'd like to allocute as to sentencing.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Daughtery, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes,
Ms. Daughtery, were you advised of your right to trial today?
yes,
And ma'am, normally that trial would take place inside the 36th District Court physically, in person, but your lawyer has indicated that you are waiving that right and you've agreed to participate on the Zoom technology today. Is that correct?
yes,
Ms. Daughtery, did you have an opportunity to speak to your attorney about all of your rights?
yes,
Ma'am, did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
no,
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
yes,
Are you pleading guilty because you are actually guilty?
yes,
And Ms. Daughtery, by pleading guilty, you understand that you are waiving or giving up your right to a trial. Is that correct?
yes,
And knowing that you're waiving your right to a trial, you go forward with your guilty plea. Is that right?
yes.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. I cannot see you because your video camera is not working, but the court is raising her right hand and I'm asking you to do the same.
My hand is raised.
All right, ma'am, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes,
You may lower your hand. Ms. Daughtery, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 60521. Were you approached by a police officer?
yes,
Were you drinking an alcoholic beverage on the public street at that time?
yes.
Right. And Ms. Daughtery, do you recall where you were? Where were you?
I was, I don't know the street, but we were in Greektown next to the liquor store.
All right. And you were actually consuming the beverage, correct?
No,
Okay. You weren't consuming it?
no, it was just in my hand.
Was it open?
Yes,
Had you been drinking it?
yes. But the thing is with those cops, they stopped us 3 times.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
wait, just a minute. All right, Mr. Wozak, I know you want to address the court before sentencing, but I'm just trying to get the factual basis correct. Are you in agreement?
I am satisfied, Judge. She has admitted to drinking the beverage.
All right, the court will accept the guilty plea being satisfied with the factual basis. We will allow the attorney an opportunity to offer an explanation to the court at this time. Mr. Wozak.
Your Honor, I'm simply going to prey upon your good nature. It is my understanding that routinely consuming alcohol in public tickets are taken on a delayed sentence status. I do not have a state prosecutor to approve that this morning, but I am hoping that you are familiar with that general policy and perhaps would permit this case to be a delayed sentence so it doesn't finally end up on a record.
Well, I have 2 prosecutors on camera right now. Is one of these able to make that offer?
I don't believe they can, Judge, because they are both city attorneys.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Someone did Zoom in. Good morning, Your Honor. Tamika Horn with the city. I was caught up in another courtroom, so it looks like one of my colleagues did Zoom in. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Ms. Horn. So this matter is state and not city. Was this the matter, Mr. Wozak, that you wanted to talk to the prosecutor about?
No, actually, I have that one pending and I'll get with Ms. Horn as soon as we're done.
You know what? I don't know that I have the authority to offer a plea under advisement. I just don't have that discretion, or, and that's not covered by the memorandum of understanding, to my knowledge, is it? I mean, if it were, I would do it, but I can't do things that I don't have the authority to do.
And
Is there any reason that we couldn't find a state prosecutor today?
it's my understanding that none are available, Judge.
Ms. Horn, I don't know if you're able to do this. I know it's not in your, but I'd rather you get in trouble than me, Ms. Horn.
I wouldn't be able to write on that. I saw it. I think it's under MCL 336. So I would not be able to touch it because it's not enabled by our ordinance. But yes, to the state prosecutors, Your Honor, they have been very hard to get a hold of. And what is it set for? I do know that some judges are dismissing for that very reason, but it's set for pretrial. So
Yeah, except for pretrial. What we could do, Mr. Wozak and Ms. Doherty, if you wanted, I could set this matter for trial, allow you to withdraw your guilty plea at this time, because if I had the authority to give you a delayed sentence, it would allow this matter to be ultimately dismissed after a short period of time. But I don't have the authority to do it. So although it makes sense to me, and I am certainly willing to accept that offer, but it has to be made by the correct party, which is the state prosecutor. So do you want to adjourn this? Do you want to withdraw the plea? What do you advise your client, Mr. Wozak?
Your Honor,
Because
at this time, I don't think the plea needs to be withdrawn, because we would simply address sentencing on the next court date. And that would be the time when the state prosecutor could say, as to sentencing, I have no objection to delayed sentence status. So I don't think we need to withdraw the plea. We just need to address sentencing on the next court date.
Okay, Madam Clerk, is that something that we can do?
You know what, Your Honor, I don't know. I know I can give her a trial date of April 6th, which would be sooner. That would be within the 2 weeks.
Well, then if we are,
because the thing is, Mr. Wozak, if she got the offer, the plea would be conditioned precedent to an offer. You know
I
what
understand that,
So
Judge, and
I'm
inclined to agree. I'm inclined to agree. So at this time, I will make a motion to withdraw the plea based upon incomplete information to my client at the time she made that decision.
And if Ms. Doherty agrees with that and is willing to come back on April 6th, that's what we'll do.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Doherty, you understand your attorney is trying to do the best for you at this time in terms of your record.
Yes,
So
I understand.
we're going to withdraw that plea, and we will give you a trial date of April 15?
6th, Your Honor.
April 6th, I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to give you that April 6th trial date. And at that time, hopefully the prosecutor will be able to give you the delayed sentence offer, or we'll see whether the officer is here for trial.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? We're continuing your personal bond.
No, thank you.
Okay, ma'am, we will see you on April 6th. It will be a Zoom connection, the same way you connected today. You can see on April 6th.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Mr. Wozak, do you need to go in a breakout room with Ms. Horn?
Could I please, Judge?
Sure. And Madam Clerk, are you gonna suspend the live stream or you just gonna leave us on live?